Previously on Follow the Leader.
I'll be playing Marius. They use they them pronouns, and in this setting, they're a refugee of the Mage Enclave at Anukar, which they're trying to escape with the last tome of knowledge from the Enclave. So I make it to the other side, and I look off into the distance. Can I see some place that looks safe to be heading towards?
Yes, I think you can see up ahead the glimmer of a fire flickering in the approaching dusk.
Do I hear anything out of the ordinary?
I think what you can hear that's out of the ordinary is people talking and laughing and sounding more cheerful than anything you've heard in a long time.
You know what? I don't think our characters actually introduced each other. So...
No.
We're sharing deep personal secrets about ourselves and we don't know each other's names. We now return to your game, already in progress.
Okay. So I think I'll play the hazard player because I think Marius is just too tired and beat up to be of any use in the caravan card game, or the caravan guard game.
I was like, are there cards? What?
No, I
What?
just
We need
can't
cards?
talk. I just can't talk.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah. That's what editing's for. So, and it also gives me a weakness to exploit because you have somebody with you who can't really do anything right now, so...
Very feebly hit people with his book. With their book.
He's not using his book for that.
Their book. Yeah.
Sorry, their book, my apologies.
That's cool.
Right, so with the caravan guard, says a caravan. Well, what it says in the text, obviously we're reflavouring it for our purpose. A caravan on the burnt road, riders on fleet horses, tireless, irritable buffalo heaped with goods, silver, spices, drugs, bales of bolts of silk, risking raiders, monsters, and the ferocious weather of the Sundered Land. You ride as its guards, but in our case, it's just like the four of us. So, like, Marius is the caravan. We are the guards.
I think it's reasonable to say that you probably have, like, some provisions with you and things like that could be appealing to monsters or raiders, so...
Sure. Also with our character... Sorry, you go, Alix.
I was going to say, are we, like, riding horses or just walking, or...
I think Sable's just walking.
I'm happy to walk.
Okay. We're all walking.
Are we going to pick a second one? Because I know we've all used one of these in our character creation, but it says to pick two from the character creation thing, and I'm intrigued to see what everyone picks.
Well, now I have a second one.
Oh, right, well, the options on this list are Master of Sword and Staff, Wielder of Ancient Weapons, Reincarnated Blood Champion, Veteran of War, Battle-Scarred, Former Slave and Revenant, Dedicated to Fallen Guards, Outranger and Scout, Child of Blasphemy, Scholar of the Six Arts, and then it leaves you with a blank space to create your own thing.
So Sable is the veteran of war, battle scarred, and now they are also dedicated to fallen gods, or perhaps not so fallen.
Yeah, we'll play to find out.
We'll play to find out.
Dig it.
And then Yvaine was also dedicated to fallen gods, but, like, I think less in a way of, like, being, like, dedicated to one god, but it's just, like, really interested in that type of stuff. And I think I might also pick Child of Blasphemy, although I don't know what that means yet.
I was also going to pick Child of Blasphemy.
But that works.
So
it's
that
siblings.
fits.
Yeah.
Yeah. And mine is
Family.
Outranger and Scout. But I know, I like the idea because, as we've established, like, that Yvaine is interested in the old gods, whereas Tala has no time for them whatsoever. Maybe, like, our parents were, like, members of opposing religious orders or went against their vows as members of an order because
so
they fell in
good.
love. Forbidden love!
Yay!
Yes.
That's
Get
really
on our
good.
bullshit!
I love
So,
that.
like... So, yeah. Clearly, our parents were, like, parts of... followed somebody and then broke the tenets of their order. Or something like that. Or maybe one of their parents was a god. We've already established there is god fucking happening in this post-apocalyptic
How
setting.
did we get here?
Was the god... Now, here's the thing. Was the god fucking happening post-apocalyptic, or was it happening
Or pre.
pre-apocalypse?
That's true, we don't know about Sable. But the idea, a child of blasphemy could also be like somebody saying, yo, no, my children were parented by a god. And people are like, yeah, okay, you're God. None of this Mary, Mother of Christ stuff is happening
I was
here.
gonna
Thank
say,
you.
none of this Jesus bullshit. Let's not do this.
Yeah, but it could equally be, so it could be forbidden love in that it's two people of opposing religious orders, perhaps, or somebody that broke the tenets. That's cool. Or it could equally be somebody slept with their god and then said so, and then we're like, nah, you don't sleep with the gods. No.
Either way, I don't think that we know.
Yeah, no, we don't know, but I like, yeah, but that could be a reason why they're on their own, is if they got turfed out because nobody would take them because they're children of blasphemy.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, I'm excited about this. Okay.
It's good shit. It's good shit. Okay. So our goal is to see the caravan safely to... Are we heading to the City of Gulls? It seems as cool a place as any to go to.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
Nice.
It could be like a coastal city where
Yes.
there are these
Yes.
giant seagulls that roost in the spires.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
There's a rumor that there's a settlement there. Like a proper settlement.
Yes.
Not just like a tent city, like buildings.
Yeah, like they may have reclaimed some of the ruins, and so it's a mostly proper city. It's just there are some places you don't go because of the gulls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So, my job as the hazard player is to create hazards to attack the caravan. The goal of the hazards is to destroy the caravan, butcher its people, scavenge its goods. I describe where the caravan is, where the characters are, what's happening. I shouldn't attack without warning, so I should always give warning. I ask the other players what their characters do. I shouldn't attack while they're helpless, so I always give them a chance to act. I answer the other players' questions. I shouldn't keep anything from them that their character could know or see, so I should always give them a chance to ask. So I think you're probably about half a day's walking from the campsite where you found Marius, and I think who would be the person who's on lookout right now?
Might be Tala.
Okay.
That's sort of the scout.
Okay. So I think the area you're in has really mossy ground, so maybe it's not that easy to see. Well, actually, maybe it is pretty easy to see tracks. And I think that Tala notices that there are some relatively fresh tracks in the moss that seem to belong to a bipedal creature, but this creature is definitely not human.
Sable!
I see it.
Okay.
Have you ever seen anything like that before?
Yes, it did not end well.
Good.
Tala is gonna pull the bow staff / walking stick that they carry, like, off their back, and, like, is holding it, like, in both hands, ready, and is, like, sort of putting themselves ahead of Yvaine.
I think Yvaine just, like, picks up a big rock off of the ground.
Okay.
I was gonna decide what weapons Sable used before this, and I didn't, so I'm gonna be on a site really quick. Let's go. We can move on though while I figure out what they use.
Okay, so I think the tracks lead into in the direction that you're going. So I think that it's pretty easy to tell that there's probably no way to avoid this creature, whatever it is. It's going to lead to a confrontation. What do you do?
Should we try to go quietly, or should we try to rush whatever it is?
I mean, there doesn't look like there's a cave or anything it's hidden in. Like, we're going to come upon it either way. We don't know where it is, whatever it is.
In the distance, you hear this low, sort of hissing sound. It's almost so low that it's like at the edge of your hearing, and there may be other sounds that you can't hear because it's too low for you to be able to pick it up and understand it. But it reverberates in the sort of foresty area where you're at.
I don't like this.
This isn't good now. Alright, well, let's just make sure that we protect Marius.
And ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, we can take care of ourselves, so...
Okay, and the sort of low hissing sound gets closer, and you can see in the distance the foliage moving as something pushes through it, and the foliage, the amount of foliage being displaced is pretty large, and you can guess that this creature is probably at least 7 feet tall.
That's not that much bigger than me. That's fine.
Do we think we can try to talk to it?
I wouldn't count on it.
I mean, it's worth a shot, right?
Everything's worth a shot. I wouldn't count on it.
I'm not counting on it. Hello, Mighty One, Rustler of the Trees, Heavy Stepper. We wish to pass, undisturbed.
Hungry.
I should probably roll for that, right?
Hungry.
Oh, that's not good.
And
That's out of character. That's Kales saying. That's not good.
I'm the hazard player. What do you expect?
Good. No. It's good. I'm just like, oh,
It's very good.
God.
Hold on. I think Yvaine reaches into her pack and pulls out, like, a pear. And,
Oh, I love
and just,
that.
like, rolls it at the forest, and then just, like, looks at Tala and Sable, and just, like, shrugs, like, they smell.
I so hope this creature's a vegetarian. Can you imagine?
Probably I should roll, right?
Yeah, action
Whenever your character
resolution.
does something that will bring you into conflict with someone or expose you to danger, anyone may call for a roll. Roll 2 dice. Okay.
Oh, before you roll, the hazard player can give it a +1 or a -1.
No, I don't think
Oh,
it's
as a consequence of past events or past rolls.
Yeah, I don't think that this is that you've done anything to warrant either of those. So just 2d6.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Nice.
Whoa!
You might 11. You might overreach. You accomplish what you'd hoped. The hazard player says what happens, and you might seize further advantage. Anyone can describe how you carry your advantage forward, and you choose whether to take the chance or let it pass. But first, the hazard player decides in secret whether you'll be overreaching yourself and reveals it if you do so.
so I think that you hear like this sort of confused grunt, and you can see the foliage rustling, but it's not like the thing is coming closer, but you can hear like some snuffling noises coming from the foliage.
Aw.
Like it's scenting something.
Did it work?
I mean, I do. It did work because I accomplished what I hoped, which I guess is to, like, distract it or, like, save it long enough for us to move forward at least a little. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, that's basically what I was trying to get at.
All right. I, like, I gesture to everyone, and I'm like, come on, let's go. Come on.
So we
And,
inch by a bit.
Yeah. Giving it as much of a berth as we can.
Yeah.
And I think that the creature is still snuffling, and then it says, "Still hungry."
I pull out 2 pears. And I roll them, like, towards, into the direction of... Yeah.
You actually see the head of the thing as it pokes out of the foliage now, and you remember the velociraptors from Jurassic Park?
Mm-hmm.
You can see its jaws snapping on the pears, and then it, like, throws its head back to swallow the pear, and it does the same thing for both. So I feel like that this is another roll.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Do I get a +1 on this?
Yeah, you get a +1.
Okay. Wow.
Oh,
Hey.
wow, okay.
All the 6s.
Okay.
Nice. That's a critical success.
The creature is not making any move to follow you guys, and I think that you're able to pass this gigantic velociraptor because
It likes pears.
yeah, I don't think 3 pears necessarily sates it, but it's not something that it usually gets. So it's still a little confused, but it's also happy because the pears taste good.
Sable, like, drops a hand on Yvaine's shoulder and is like, I can't believe that worked.
Well, that was all of my pears, so...
Tala actually, like, sort of just, like, picks Yvaine up and hugs her and is still walking. And she's like, "You were so smart!" Saying it in a whisper.
Yvaine giggles and is just like, put me down.
But you weigh like nothing.
All right,
and
fine.
then they
Carry
they
me.
put you down. They put you
Okay.
down because you asked. But I think they definitely do like to demonstrate how little you weigh or how strong they are. They just like lift you up a couple of times, see, and then put you down.
Yvaine is used to this, I think.
Oh yeah, this is definitely something that's happened before numerous times.
Okay.
So, with the game, each, I guess, quote unquote, game is dealing with a hazard. So do we want to deal with another hazard, or do we want to say that we made it to the city of gulls?
More hazards.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do at least one more.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
We can even switch who is the hazard player.
yeah, I was about to say that it does say that you take turns being the hazard player when you do it more than once, so...
Did you want to take it, Kales? Because you had ideas.
I had
Yes.
ideas. I'm trying to think about what they might do.
So I have ideas. So,
Go ahead and set the stage for us.
yeah. So I think we're, so I think we've made it further in the forest. I think it's starting to get dark. Not like dark, but it's like the sun's going down. It's reaching that sort of golden twilight sort of stage where it's going to be dusk in an hour or so, but we're not quite there yet. Like, it's that sort of late afternoon stage. And we're walking. Okay, I have to actually read these rules really quick. Ha.
Do we want Marius to be in this scene? If
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think at this point maybe, like, they've recovered a bit. They've been walking, but, like, their wounds have been bandaged and they're a lot more alert.
So, as you're walking, you hear, and it's foresty. So, I think we've moved out of leafy trees into needle trees. Don't ask me to pronounce the names of them. If anyone actually knows how to pronounce the names of these sorts of trees, please.
We've moved from deciduous to coniferous.
Yes. And we're stepping carefully, but there's still the sounds of someone moving, the sounds of people stepping when we aren't.
Okay.
Oh.
Uh,
Oh.
how dark is it in the forest? Like with the canopy, is it, because we're in the forest, it's probably a little bit darker than just twilight here, right?
It is a little bit darker, yes, but because the trees aren't leafy, it's not as dark as it might have been otherwise.
Okay. I think Marius still conjures a light in their hand and like holds it up. Do we see anything that might give away who or what is walking when we're not?
You don't see, but you hear something hiss.
Oops.
Put the light out.
Yep, Marius closes their hand and the light goes away.
How did you make that light?
I'm a mage of Anukar. How do you think I made the light?
Can you show me how to make it later?
Later.
Yes, later.
Okay, so with that, I guess Marius whispers, do we want to continue?
I mean, we can't turn around. We just keep going, I suppose. I don't want to be here when it's completely dark.
I mean, the last thing went fine, right? So
You said you were out of Pears, though.
We don't know if this is the same thing or not.
we're both experienced travelers. We know not everything responds to kindness.
Does it sound like it's multiple things or just one thing?
It's difficult to tell.
How far off does it sound?
Very close.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Did the
okay.
hissing stop when we turned out the light?
Yes. I mean, it wasn't even like a long hiss. It was like that's not quite right. That sounds like a snake. It sounded like the hiss of like something cringing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Shall we move softly and hope for the best?
Yvaine looks around for another rock, but just ends up picking up a stick.
I'm gonna do something which I think is gonna result in a roll.
Okay.
I'm going to have Marius try to cast like a spell that makes us even more quiet or like
Ooh.
dampens the sound of our footsteps.
Yeah,
Smart.
that's I want to say that's a roll because I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do I get a +1 or -1 on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you get a +1 on it.
Okay. So I'm rolling 2d6 +1.
Hey.
Yay! I got an 11.
Hey, 11.
We're rolling really well.
We are
There
rolling
we are.
really well.
Shh! Don't jinx it.
I'm knocking on paperboard. I don't
Yep.
know why I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Wait, there's wood next to me. Okay, we're good.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're good.
Okay.
So this the spell you cast the spell successfully, and it makes your steps even quieter, which makes it easier to tell that what's stepping when you aren't is in front of you a little ways and off to one side, and probably steps like a person, but how do I describe this? Steps like a person who's limping. It's
Okay.
offbeat slightly. It's like
Like a heartbeat.
yeah, it's
Great
just
and
like
good.
it's just not like whatever,
Yeah.
however
Yeah.
a walk sounds.
Okay. I think we just keep going past, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's off to one side, we'll arc around it. But Tala will put themselves sort of closest to this figure, or whatever it is.
As you get closer to it and it gets louder, it's Ooh, I just had another thought of what it is, and I'm getting shivers.
Oh, you have to share it now.
Oh, I'm going
Wait,
to
wait.
share it now. It's walking in the direction that you're going, but it's looking right at you because its head, its head is on, it's on a 90-degree angle.
Oh.
Like it just like it's like someone took their head and just twisted it 90 degrees, like it has a broken neck.
Is it a human?
Humanoid.
Oh.
And you're looking at I'm calling them whites, and it's gray, kind of smudgy looking, and it's where its eyes are just these black pits, and where its mouth would be is just this black, just like someone peeled part of the gray away. It's just black there, just from like where their nose would be down to their chin. And it's got it. You know how in the for the people who can't see this, in the Sundered Land, the book, the figures sort of look like they're in motion blur. This sort of looks like it's in motion blur, just constantly.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's sort of like hunched and hobbled, and it looks very skeletal and flat, and it's just looking right at you.
Oh, fuck.
But it's continuing on its way
Oh, it's moving.
as well.
It's going in the direction you're going.
Does it look like it's trying to cross paths with us?
Yes, but it's not doing a very good job.
Oh, boy.
It's like, you know when lines look parallel, but one of them is just very slightly tilted, and you don't notice for a while? That's what it's doing.
Okay.
So if you, like, if you can get it now, it won't cross paths with you further on.
I think I'm gonna have to roll for this. Tala sort of steps just ahead of it and like puts their bow staff up in like a stop kind of thing, like just like barring the way almost, and just like to the others, run, I'll catch up with you.
Yeah, I am going to make you roll for this, but you watch its head just snap to properly. Welcome to horror, guys.
Oh, this is so good. This is so good.
Do I get a plus or a negative?
No, it's straight roll.
Oh.
Okay.
So that's a 5.
So on a 2 to 5, it might go terribly wrong. You get one chance to say how you get help or hold it together on your own. Everyone else votes thumbs up or thumbs down. If the thumbs down win, say how it goes wrong and how you're hurt, thrown, killed, seized, or lay low. If it's still possible for you to accomplish what you hoped, you do, and the hazard player says the rest.
Well, I'm literally trying to stop it going after the others. So its attention is on me, which is what I wanted. So, I get one chance to say how I get help or hold it together on my own. My sister is more important than me. If I fall, it could get her. I will stand my ground. And like, my knuckles sort of tighten, and you can hear like the wood creaking underneath my hands as my knuckles pop slightly. I'm holding onto it that tight, but like, I spread my stance slightly, and all like 6'6" of me, wide and soft and the most huggable person ever. Just I look like stone. I'm just like ready.
I think you're definitely successful in that. Its attention is on you, and it's not on the other members of your party.
We have to vote thumbs up or thumbs down, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Should we do white stone, red stone?
Or we can use the thumbs up, thumbs down emoji.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
also true! Emojis are great.
Yep.
Emojis are great. Let's do it. Yeah, do it in the dice stuff.
Yeah.
I'm ready,
Oops.
if everyone else
I was
is.
on the wrong channel. Okay.
Oh, cool. There's 3 of you. There is no way this can be a split vote.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's pretty good.
Yep.
Everyone ready?
I'm ready.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Wow, Dora. Wow.
See, the only thing is, Yvaine is not going to leave Tala behind.
Yeah. Well, this is just me as a player. I don't think that there's
I agree.
I don't think there's a way you're not getting hurt, and that's why I voted thumbs down.
I almost voted thumbs down because, like, you're not gonna, like, Yvaine isn't leaving, but, like, I also feel like maybe these are the types of things. I voted thumbs up because I think these are the types of things that we might have faced these before from traveling around.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm happy to get her in the process. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
I voted thumbs up because I already know what's going to happen, which is
Yes. Yes,
you
give it to me.
You did
Give it to
accomplish what
me.
you hoped.
Yeah.
Like yes, you rolled a 5. You accomplished what you hoped. It's not paying attention to the others. So if they
I protected the others.
if they wanted to get away, I know Yvaine isn't going to leave Tala, but it's in a blink. You blink and this white is just on you, and it's digging its fingers into not quite your chest, like up by your collarbones.
How tall is it? Is it bigger than me? Same size? Smaller? I'm guessing it's skinnier because I have Slender Man vibes going on.
It's very, very, it's skinnier than you. It's a little bit shorter. Yeah, it's smaller than you are. You're 6'6".
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smaller than you are. Definitely.
I think Yvaine is just going to try to grab it and pull it off.
Oh my god.
That's a roll. That's a roll.
Yeah, I know it is. Do I get a plus or a minus?
No.
Okay. Okay.
6. Next one up.
It might. Okay, so you got a 6. That's not a failure.
Okay.
On a 6 to 8, it might reveal something. Ask if anyone has insights into what's happening. If anybody does, the hazard player decides whether they're right. Either way, you accomplish what you hoped, and the hazard player says what happens.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of some sort of insight. I think this probably reveals, like, how the only thing I can think of is squishy, and by squishy I mean, like, how susceptible to, like, physical damage it might be.
It might just be, like, light, if Yvaine could get it. Like, strong but light, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, there's actually something to grab hold of. For all that it looks like this sort of weird blurriness, it's tangible and it's solid. And it can be.
So that's actually, that's all right. You grab onto this, and it's actually, like, way lighter than you thought it was going to be. And you pull it off, and do you let go of it?
I mean, I feel like if I realized, like, if I don't, it's like when you pick up a can and you think it's full of liquid and it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like I accidentally, like, once I realize that it's light, I just, like, accidentally, like, let go of it and, like, send it stumbling off to the side.
Yeah. I just think this is funny. I want to say it bounces.
Oh my god.
It bounces off a tree or something.
No,
It's like-
off the ground. Like, I want to say that you
yeah.
accidentally let go of it and it falls and it just bounces.
Oh
Like a
my
bouncy
goodness.
ball.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I know what Marius is gonna do, because they remember how it hissed when they conjured the light, and so I think they're gonna conjure another light to, like, menace the creature with.
Yeah. I want to say, because you know that it didn't like the light before, my impulse is to say you don't have to roll, or you don't have to roll to make the light, and for it to back away from it.
I feel like there should be a roll in there somewhere, because I feel
Yeah.
like it determines whether it cowers or whether it attacks Marius.
Yeah, but I also, like, it doesn't like it, so I don't know if it would... I don't know if, like... I feel like the roll is for whether or not it cowers or whether or not it runs.
Okay, that sounds fair to me. I'm just looking for a way to, like, introduce more. I'm trying to be Ebex.
Okay, how about this? We could do, instead of using the rules for the rolls that it has, for this one, on a 2 to 5, it runs at you. On a 6 to 8, it just cowers, and on a 9 to 12, it runs away.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Sounds good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Oh. Honestly,
That's a 5.
honestly, that's kind of what I was hoping for, just because it is interesting for things to mess up. So
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
okay.
don't
So
think it's running towards you, but it's not running towards you with intent, because it's like scared.
Mhm.
So it's gonna run towards you and it's gonna knock you over, but it's not really attacking.
okay.
So it's like, it's interesting, but it's not, there's no real intent behind it. So someone else can do something here.
I was gonna say, I wanna, as it's charging Marius, I wanna like get my bow staff in between, like, and literally like fling it, like use it as a pivot, if that makes sense. Like you know how you put your arm between two people who are fighting, in theory.
In theory.
Like in theory.
You mean like clothesline it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was just
basically,
thinking
before it gets
clothesline.
there. But like the midsection rather than the head, because I saw how light it was. I'm literally just trying to use my weight and the bow staff as a pivot to like flick it as far away as I can.
Nice.
Yeah, alright, yeah, good. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
White baseball.
I'm gonna give you a +1 because it's sort of blinded. It's not blinded,
Sure.
but it's like messy.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Come on, dice.
It's an 8.
Wow, a 1 and a 6 plus 1. Jeez.
That's an 8, so it's still okay. So if anyone has insights,
Oh, I think there's residue left on my bow staff.
Ugh.
It's
Like,
melting.
not like, yeah, but it's like whatever it's made of. It's because I wasn't going for like a bludgeoning wound. I was literally just trying to put, but like literally, it's like when you touch like a tree where the sap's coming out, and it's just
Yes.
like, and it leaves that residue on your hand. I think it's like that.
Gross,
Like, it's
I love
touched.
it.
yeah.
And it's that same. I was about to say it's that same white, and I'm just like, yeah, no, now we're getting into NC-17 territory, and it was me that did it, but I'm sorry.
I think it like screams and like the sound is like really painful to listen to.
Dora, do you have anything?
Nope, I got nothing to add here. I think everybody else has cool ideas, though.
How far did I manage to fling it, given how light it is?
Pretty far. It doesn't move. Well, it moves fast when it has prey, but it's still confused. Confused! That's the word I was looking for. I was like, what's the adjective I want to apply to this creature? Confused.
Discombobulated.
Discombobulated. That's also a good one.
Thank you.
So it's gonna take it goes far because it's a light creature, but I think it goes far enough that it needs a second, and you could definitely
Run.
Yeah.
We need to run. We need to live.
Yep.
I don't think it screams. I think it's
Okay.
quiet. I think the whole point of them is that they're meant to be relatively quiet, apart from the whole stepping on pine needles thing. But it does leave a residue on the staff. I really like that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think Marius is going to keep the light up while we run, though.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
What kind of wounds did it leave when it like sank its quote fingers into my collarbone?
It's definitely bleeding. They look like pretty. They're like small in length but deep.
Funsies. Cool.
Because it didn't really get a chance to move its fingers.
Ah. Yeah, and widen the wound a little,
and
like
widen the
wiggle
wound.
around in there.
So
Yeah,
they're
cool.
deep, but they're small.
So they're like needles, like
Bigger than that,
yeah.
I think.
knitting needle.
Yeah. Good 15, size 15.
Oh,
Oof.
Oh, that's US sizes too. I don't know what it's like over in the UK.
I don't knit, so I couldn't say.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell
But
you.
I know knitting needles when I see them.
I can tell you an 11 is 8 millimeters, so a size 15 is probably
Oh.
like 10 or something. So
Oh, so like a centimeter. That's the width of my little finger. That's big enough to suck.
yeah,
it
So,
sucks.
How many of these are there? Like, was it like 4 fingers on each hand? Like, ugh.
3.
Oh, even better.
3 fingers on
Oh.
each hand.
Nice.
Cool. Cool and
Great
good.
and good.
I
Yep.
love these
Good.
creatures. I'm just gonna write this down
They're
and save
good.
them for later.
Dude.
Yes.
Homebrew that for Dungeon World. I want your players to suffer, as I just did.
Honestly,
Yep.
yes.
Good work. Are we able to run away?
What?
Do we outrun the hazard? Do we get away?
Yeah. You burst out of the forest all of a sudden.
Cool. And I picture like that Tala wears like whites and creams, like to reflect what sunlight they get to keep cool. So there is like blood there's these bright spots of blood on the front of their sort of like, I imagine it's sort of like a cowl, like one of those hoods with a scarf built in that Yvaine made. And it's just like starting to turn red from, I think Tala just looks down and is just like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah. It's definitely not fatal.
But sucks.
Sucks. But Tala's absolutely going to be fine.
Yeah.
Thanks, Yvaine.
But yeah, looking down, just sort of like, oh, I should do something about that.
So, do we want to do more of this, or do we want to move on to like at ends or something?
I think if we wanted to call it here, we can do that and say that they get to the city of Gulls. And then if we wanted to pick this back up, we'd pick it up with the city and what we do there.
Sure.
So are we calling it Would They Reach the City?
Yeah. I think if we want to leave it with a cool image, Kales, if you want to describe what we see when we get to the city of Gulls, that would be cool.
Yeah, because I think you kind of burst out of the forest and there's just this open sky in front of you that's like sort of unfamiliar in a way. Like you've reached plains and you kind of go a little further and you start to crest this hill. And as we look over the hill and below us we see just more water, I think, than we've seen in such a long time. And at the shore of the water, it's fairly black. I think it's volcanic sand. And it gives way to ground and farmland, and we can see that it's these ruined stone buildings, but there's movement around them, and there's as we watch us, just this wooden structure just rises, like someone's putting it up, like someone's rebuilding a building in front of our eyes. And we see the gulls.
Nice.
I think you see, like, Yvaine was, like, trying to tend to Tala's wounds, but, like, just, like, looks up into the sky and is, like, totally amazed by the gulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tala is too.
Yeah, I think we can hear them from here too, and I think even though gulls don't have really particularly great vocalization, it's still, it's a sign that we made it, and so Marius just kind of sighs in relief.
It's almost like it's the sweetest sound we've heard.
It's certainly the
In a
best
long
sound we've
time.
heard, yeah.
Because it's not the caw of a raven or the crash of a monster in the woods. It's something almost normal.
Yep. And I think that's a really great place to leave off. So do we want to go ahead and do our sign-off?
Yeah.
Cool. I don't remember who we start with. Who do we start with? We start with Jade.
I've been and continue to be Jade. You can find me at Jade Oxford Rose on Twitter.
I'm Alix, and you can find me at Kismet Nemesis on Twitter.
I'm Dora, and you can find me at HarpyDora on Twitter.
I am, or perhaps am no longer, Kales, and you can find me at Citadel of Swords on Twitter.
And you can find the podcast at FTLcast on Twitter. Come say hi, and thank you so much for listening.